Okay, it's the Friday edition of the Vuka Nazo Show. You know what that means. It's either we have a champ of the week or a Moemish of the week. What will it be? Molo Sanbonani, hello, how's it? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Friday edition of the Vuka Nazo Show. My name is Sihle Ngobese. Remember to, whether you're watching on YouTube, X, Facebook, or Instagram, like the show, please. Smash that like button. And if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook in particular, well then subscribe to the channel and join us and join the numbers who are already fans of the show. Remember, we also have a website. Find us, please, at BigDaddyLiberty.com. Now, with that being said, what do we have this week? Do we have a champ of the week or a Moemish of the week? And we predictably have a Moemish. Who is our Moemish of the week? The African National Congress, for giving MK oodles of media attention. What a Moemish. Yes, the ANC are our Moemish of the week because it's done exactly that. It's giving the MK party oodles of media coverage on really frivolous issues. Now, I covered this issue on the Wednesday edition of the Vuka Nazo Show, where I told you there'll be 3 rounds in this boxing match between the ANC versus the Umkhonto weSizwe party, or the MK party. Round 1 is already done and dusted, where Zuma gave the figurative 1-2 and effectively won that first round in the electoral court here in Gauteng, where effectively the ANC had taken MK party, arguing that its registration with the Electoral Commission was invalid, with the electoral court actually ruling against the ANC, saying that the registration of the MK party was above board, arguing further in the judgment that once the MK party had been registered by the IEC, it had 14 days, once that announcement was made, to lodge any objections. The ANC, of course, being the lazy louts that they are, didn't lodge any objection, therefore MK was registered duly. Now, that was a massive blow to the ego of the ANC, giving the MK party oodles of media coverage and positive coverage, of course, which of course will buoy the MK party, which is already riding on a high. You remember the MK party is polling at a whopping 9%, according to the Brenthurst Foundation polls and other polls that have also reflected similar numbers. This is a party which is looking very good at the moment, and if you are an MK member, you'd be very happy with what is happening so far. Now, we see that as round 1 done and dusted. Round 2, of course, seeing these two parties again battling it out in the courts, this time in Durban, where this Wednesday the ANC dragged the MK party to court, this time over the trademark of Umkhonto weSizwe. ANC alleging that it's theirs as the party. MK basically saying, no, it isn't. They're just taking something that the ANC wasn't using and making it more revolutionary. Not my words, literally the words of MK. Let me read from this independent piece which covered this particular issue, as it is now round 2 of the battle between MK and the ANC. Now, the Umkhonto weSizwe party claims that they have not stripped the ANC of their political heritage, but instead reinvigorated the spirit of revolution. Outside the Durban Magistrates Court on Wednesday, IOL spoke to a one Lucky Sibambo, who's an MK volunteer from the Moses Mabhida region, who hoped that justice would prevail, as both parties have argued their case. Sibambo said that they didn't take anything from the ANC, but rather took something old and made it new. End of quote. It's a very cheeky comment to make when effectively the ANC is really upset over this particular issue. Now, here's the thing, very briefly, no matter how this plays out, MK has won the PR battle in a sense, insofar as this is even more media coverage for it and effectively gives them further momentum. Now, if they lose this court case, of course they don't want that. It'll be very costly to them, because presume for a moment, if they've printed flyers, they've printed posters, and all sorts of things of that nature, that the cost of having to replace all of that, the cost of even changing their name would be insane for them at this point. But they still wouldn't necessarily see that as a problem, because the party itself has now really solidified itself in at least those members who are now part of this MK movement, and indeed also shown to be a threat to the ANC itself, sacking members from the ANC. The ANC is in a panic over the MK party, and I'll still contend that it's making things worse by giving MK this kind of attention and indeed media coverage. Round 2, therefore, is currently underway, and we'll see what the courts have to say. Now, round 3. Round 3 will be the actual election day, when voters get to decide. Who will win that battle is yet to be seen. However, so far, the ANC is definitely on the losing end of that spectrum. They are our week's Moemish of the week. Right, that's it for this episode of the Vuka Nazo Show. If you like what you see, as I said, please do that, exactly that. Smash the like button and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. I'll see you next week for another episode of the Vuka Nazo Show.